Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show. I know a little mellow opening tonight. I'm here at 212 Pierce, my local internet cafe in Venice, California, where I come surf the web, check my Facebook, and cyberbully people. Also, I do a lot of research, man. Between the radio show and this show, I gotta just hang out at a place like this and get online. Good show tonight. In the last call spotlight, speaking of the web, our spotlight tonight is on the creator of a entertainment satirical website called the oatmeal.com. His name is Matthew Inman. Also, great music from Live Nation's Wiltern Theater. You'll see alt rockers Doves. But first I had a chance to hang out with a guy that is not at a loss for words. He was the governor of Minnesota. Of course, he was a wrestler. He went by The Body, and now he's a New York Times top 10 selling author of the book American Conspiracies. And I hung on his every word at the other room just down the street. Here's my time with Jesse Ventura. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
Carson.
Hi, Carson.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
I love your book. How did you come up with the conspiracies for the book?
Well, myself and Dick Russell, my co-writer, and I'd like to tell you right now, this book wouldn't have happened without him.
Yeah.
It's much like the same as throwing a huge jigsaw puzzle on the floor. And you start, and that's your information. You start with that one piece, and you start assembling together. And can you finish the jigsaw puzzle? No, you can't do that.
Right.
But you can get enough of the puzzle done to where you can figure out what the picture's supposed to be, or you got a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. Your stuff Dick couldn't have written, and that's what I loved. I loved you being a young man and being terrified of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You know, the images of him on TV, the way that media portrayed him, come to in college or later in life, he became a hero of yours.
Well, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, and when he made his trek to Mecca, he changed. In his book, he talked about how he was for total, complete segregation, is what the Muslims at first had him believing. And then when he got to Mecca, he talked about how he prayed with blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white-skinned Muslims. And he realized that it came to him that that there's bad people everywhere, and there's good people everywhere. And I really believe that one of the fears they had was that Malcolm X and Dr. Martin Luther King were going to team up.
Right. So you think the assassination was what for Malcolm X? Done, orchestrated by
well,
the CIA?
If you look at the deaths of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and we'll throw John Lennon in. What they have, all three of them in common, was that they were all under government surveillance when they were killed.
It's a fine line between coincidence and conspiracy.
Well, conspiracy, what you need to look at there, they've turned it into a bad word, conspiracy theory. But if you look at the governments, theirs is only a conspiracy theory. But because we believe their theory, we don't call it that.
Right, we're trained to believe their theory.
Trained
the Warren Commission is a great example of this. And I know you spent time with Fidel Castro. One of the great chapters in this book is your descriptive nature of having this meeting with him and the way he gives you this big handshake and your time with him.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was unbelievable. The first thing he said to me was, "You're a man of great courage."
Why?
That's what I said. Well, I looked at him and said, "Well, why would you say that? And you don't know me. How do you know if I have courage?" And he smiled and said, "Because you defied your president to come here," which I did. Bush didn't want me to go.
Right.
And then I looked at him and said, "You'll find that I defy most everything." And he started laughing.
But there's so many of these, and yes, let's call them great outstanding issues with the theory that we all believe in 9/11.
Backed up in my book by facts, because everything goes to footnotes.
So what are people supposed to do with that information? I mean, like just the average person, these guys are all listening to this interview. It's compelling. It makes us go, all right, I don't trust our government. I don't believe in our government. So are we supposed to become, I don't know, bad Americans and not believe and defy?
No, because Thomas Jefferson said dissension's the greatest form of patriotism. We've been brainwashed to believe that dissension's unpatriotic. It is patriotic, and I'll tell you why. If you don't hold your elected people's feet to the fire, you will get bad government.
Have you spoken to Sean Penn?
I know Sean Penn. My son was his assistant for
What is his
years.
deal?
Sean Penn, to me, is a great humanitarian.
Yeah, people give him a hard time, I think, for talking to Chavez or his political stance.
Sean Penn, look what he's doing in Haiti right now.
Oh, he does incredible humanitarian work.
Well, then look at Sean in that aspect. This guy is out there putting his money where his mouth is. He's putting his body where his mouth is. He's not talking the talk, Sean. Sean's walking the walk with it.
Let's move on to 9/11.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a big topic, super controversial. I was in New York Manhattan.
And you're not allowed to talk about it. Isn't that amazing?
Well, I think
you're not allowed to question it. You're not allowed to talk about it, or you're unpatriotic.
What do you believe the truth to be about 9/11?
I certainly believe that if our administration didn't participate in it, they absolutely knew that they knew about it and that they allowed it to happen for political reasons to go to war. Nobody wants to disbelieve your government. That's what it comes down to. Because if it would just, here's why I think many people don't want the truth, because it would destroy their American dream. We all remember Whitewater when they went after President Clinton, right? They allocated $100 million to learn ultimately that the president cheated on his wife. $100 million. You know, after stonewalling an investigation for 2 years, the Bush administration finally agreed to do it because there was so much pressure from the survivors. Do you know how much money they allocated to study 9/11, where there was the murder of 3,000 people? $4 million. $100 million to learn the president cheated on his wife. $4 million. Earmarked for 9/11. It ended up about 13 because they went over budget, but always, as Deep Throat said, and all the president's men, follow the money. That'll take you to your answer. And we all know Iraq was a fraudulent war now. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Hussein was using that as a bluff to keep the Iranians off, and that's what his general said. And this stuff like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who supposedly confessed to 9/11, he got waterboarded 180 times. I've been waterboarded. I know what it is. It is torture. That's where they lay you down and you're strapped in and they put a towel on your face at a slight decline and they start pouring the water into the towel. The first thing it does, it fills up all your sinuses.
Where's the
with
towel?
water.
On your face?
Yeah, it's like put over your face and then they pour the water through the towel. And it fills your sinuses up immediately. Have you ever gotten water in your sinuses swimming? It hurts, doesn't it? Yeah. Very painful.
But you really want to blow out your nose.
Then but you can't, because more water's coming.
All right.
And then after it does that to you, it gives you the complete sensation of drowning. Now, I will tell you this. If they waterboarded you 180 times, you would confess to 9/11. And I said, I made it into the Yale University. Every year, apparently, they have 10 quotes that go in the stone. And my quote made it, and it was what I said last year on Larry King. I said, you give me a waterboard Dick Cheney in 1 hour, and I'll have him confess to the Sharon Tate murders.
That is reality television that this network needs. Well, I would produce that for NBC.
Well,
I'll get Dick Cheney, but I can't get the waterboard.
Actually, it's a false statement, and I'll tell you why. Because Dick Cheney has a bad heart and a bad ticker. He couldn't survive being waterboarded for an hour. He'd be dead. That's how bad it is.
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, I could talk to you endlessly. The book is great. Congratulations.
Well, all I'd like to have people do is remember, I'm not Tom Clancy, and this book is not my imagination. Everything in this book is backed up by documentation where you can go see where we got the information that's written in there.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you, too.
My pleasure.
Oh, how great is that guy? I love him. My favorite moment, clearly, was when he took off his hat. Jesse Ventura, you are a piece of American history, my friend. American Conspiracy is the book. Congratulations to it. Entered the top 10 of the New York Times best-selling list for hardcover nonfiction. I'm here at 212 Pier doing a little internet surfing. When we get back, we still have tonight's Last Call Spotlight, which is on the oatmeal.com creator Matthew Inman. And also we'll go to the Wiltern, that's Live Nation's venue, and you'll see Dubs right after this.
It's the first German-engineered Buick powered by an all-aluminum engine, rated one of Ward's 10 best. And equipped with a 6-speed automatic transmission that allows for manual shifting with the tap of a gear selector. It there was ever a time for an American Autobahn, this is it. Introducing the sport-injected 2011 Regal from Buick. Let the performance begin.
Now I can stop paying from any angle with no mess.
New Icy Hot Spray. The fast-acting, long-lasting, no-mess spray with shot strength relief. Gets icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away.
And keep it away.
New Icy Hot Spray.
Don't mess around with pain.
Hey, I'm Jason. My roommate in there does a lot of private tutoring, which really cuts into my TV time. So then it hit me. What if my laptop could work just like a DVR? Well, next thing I know, with Windows 7, you can record and watch TV right on your laptop in HD. I could stay here all night.
Get the HP Pavilion DM4. Thin, lightweight, easy to carry wherever you go.
I'm a PC. Windows 7 was my idea.
Dove Clinical Protection. At last, prescription strength wetness protection beautified with Dove moisturizers and cool fragrances. Dove Clinical Protection, where beautiful girls find strength.
You know what 2:30 in the afternoon feels like, right? Sleepy? Groggy? Dying for a nap? What do? Run for the coffee? Grab a soda? But how long does that last before you're back for more? Try this instead. Take one 5-hour energy, then see what the rest of your day feels like. Sure won't feel like 2:30 anymore. Or 3:30. Or 4:30. 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later.
Are you drowning in debt, losing your car or home? Are your wages being garnished? Who can pay these obscene interest rates? Bankruptcy can stop all creditors and erase the entire debt, or bankruptcy can reorganize your bills for a fresh start.
We've helped many people just like you. We accept cases statewide with little or no money down. Help is only a smart call away. Phillips Webster. Pick up the phone and dial 1-800-BANKRUPT. That's 1-800-BANKRUPT. 24 hours a day. Call now.
See, you gotta be connected. I got the BlackBerry and I've got my lucky computer right there. It's Last Call coming to you from 212 Pier in Venice Internet Cafe, and it actually ties nicely into our spotlight tonight, which is on a 27-year-old guy named Matthew who did the 9-to-5 thing for a while. Then he decided to ditch his cubicle, started working from home and from places like this where he could pick up the free internet, and literally created a satirical entertainment website that we're all big fans of called the Oatmeal. Our spotlight is reserved for Matthew Inman.
If you were to die, how many weasels could your body feed? How to suck at Facebook. How web design goes straight to hell. My name is Matthew Inman. Some people know me as The Oatmeal. I started a website called The Oatmeal. And day to day, I make comics, quizzes. It's sort of like a viral wonderland. I was a kid who never talked. I ate a lot of cereal. It was sort of like if anything happened, like the wind was off that day, or my toenails hadn't been clipped in a while, or something upset me, a bowl of cereal, and a book maybe. So lots of cereal, lots of books, real introverted, very creative though. Definitely didn't have a lot of friends other than like, Transformers or Fraggle Rock or stuff like that. So I kind of came out of my shell after high school and started doing design, started working as a programmer, and yeah, that was the youth of the Oatmeal. I was working at a marketing firm, was unhappy, so I was like, I'm going to start my own website, make my own money, not work for anybody. I built a dating site. I called it mingle2.com. I marketed it using quizzes and comics. How many 5-year-olds could you take in a fight? The words you need to stop misspelling. I did it myself, launched it, and sold it. Now it's one of the biggest dating sites on earth, thanks to viral marketing. I decided I wanted to make a site just for the comics, just for these marketing things that I was making. And that's where the Oatmeal came from. I really like Gary Larson of The Far Side. His panels I've always loved. I spent a lot of time on the internet. I mean, I would estimate sometimes it's upwards of 12 hours a day or more, and I've been doing that since I was like 13 or 14 or 15. I actually don't like oatmeal. I don't eat it. It came about because I used to play this video game a lot when I was a kid called